been a few weeks since I've actually done any of these vlogs. I've actually had some kind of bad times here. Maybe not to most people and not to where I have been. But for me, it's been some bad times the last 3 weeks. I stopped taking my appetite suppressant pills because I really wanted to do this without the outside influence of that. But I guess these diets and these life changes are all about what the outside influences are all around us. So I haven't really gained a lot of weight, but I've been steady for the last 3 weeks. I've gained 0.6 pounds, and then I dropped 0.4 pounds, and then I gained another 0.8 pounds. So I've been like leveling out between 350 or so, and it's really been frustrating. In fact, without the appetite suppressants, I've been eating extra things because I've been a little bit extra hungry and stuff like that. But I'm back on the pills again. I'm trying to level back out again. Today I weighed myself. Usually my official weigh-in dates are on Wednesday nights at the TOPS group that I belong to. But when I checked myself today, and I kind of check myself on a daily basis just to kind of see where I'm at, I've actually dropped 10 pounds since Wednesday. So, and that's today is Saturday, so that's actually pretty good. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what my weigh-in might be come Wednesday night. So, and I'll go ahead and try to make sure I do another vlog for that. One of the things that I want to talk about that is working for me is the TOPS group that I belong to. And TOPS, that means taking off pounds sensibly. I'm losing weight a lot quicker than what most people should. A healthy weight loss is about 1 to 2 pounds a week. And then maintaining afterwards with that. But I've been doing what they call a fad diet. It's the grapefruit diet, where I eat a grapefruit or at least a half a grapefruit with every meal. And it's supposed to help with the digestion and all of that. But even though it's a fad diet and I'm dropping the pounds very quickly, my nutritionist keeps telling me to bulk up on more protein, and when I do that, I seem to stop losing the weight so quickly. So I'm really sticking to that diet very strictly right now, and I'm trying to get down to 300 pounds. I started out at 427 pounds. When I weighed in this morning, like I said, it was 341 point something. So in my book, that's really good. I'm not so worried about the protein or the muscle loss that I'm having right now, because in all honesty, when I get under 300 pounds, I'm going to change my diet out, but I'm probably not going to quit doing the grapefruit and stuff like that, because that's really a good high vitamin C fruit, very low calorie and lots of fiber to it. So it's actually a really good thing, and I'll probably continue, maybe not with every meal, but I definitely enjoy it with my breakfast in the morning. So and we'll see where we go from that. But I wanted to talk about TOPS. TOPS is something that I never really had heard about before. My friend Deirdre and Renee both belong to a TOPS group, and I know they were losing a lot of weight and doing really good. And they're talking about the support, which is very crucial for weight loss, is having a good support group. TOPS is just that. Like I said, it's called Taking Off Pounds Sensibly. It's a club that was started in 1948 by a young lady by the name of Esther Manez. You keep seeing me looking down here. I got a few notes in front of me, so please forgive me for actually reading my notes. Can't convince my wife to hold the cue cards up so I can actually read them from up there, but anyways. So this group was started in 1948 by Esther Manez and 3 of her friends that were all homemakers out of the Milwaukee area. Esther was actually waiting on the birth of her 5th child, and she actually had gained a lot of weight. And she started thinking about the support of all the ladies that she knew that were also pregnant and seeing this one particular doctor, and a support that there was there for that. And she started thinking that, he says, well, you know, with me trying to lose the weight, it would really be great if I had a support network of other like-minded women that could sit there and we all could kind of support each other. Not that she was trying to promote any certain kind of a diet. It was just whatever the physician or the doctor was recommending to those individuals, and they all wanted to share that information along amongst all of them so that they could have the best chances at losing that weight. What's true for me is not necessarily true for you. I actually had one person on my blogs here that tell me that I'm not really addicted to foods, and and that's not what it's all about. But maybe it's not true for them, but that's what's true for me. I know I'm addicted to food. There's certain triggers that I've got to stay away from. The last 3 weeks I was having trouble because I started going to buffets, and although I was eating good food, once again, it's that overeating in general. I can overeat on salad, and that's still something that's not good. It's an addiction that I have to stop. I definitely have lots of addictions that are not good. Eating a whole bag of Doritos in one sitting, which is definitely not a good thing. I think it's like 1 or 2 chips according to the bag that you're supposed to eat, but I'm like, yeah, right, I'm going to stop at 1 or 2 chips. Having donut Fridays at work, it's like smelling that chocolate and everything else at work. It's really difficult for me to say no. And with me not being on the appetite suppressant pills that my doctor, Dr. Beth, had given to me, I would have had partaken those donuts a lot further. And in fact, the last 3 weeks I had. Yesterday, I'm back on the medication, and even though there was a lot of temptation, I did not have those donuts. And although in my mind I kept wanting to ask my supervisor if he could move the donuts away from my area into another area, but I figured I have to learn to be able to deal with stuff like that in the future. But he must have read my mind because he actually moved all the donuts into another area anyway. So I don't know if he did that consciously of me or not, but I'll just assume that he did and thank him for that. Anyway, so Esther sat there and went back to her doctors and just said that, this is this idea that I have about trying to get other people that are trying to lose some weight, that we all can have like kind of a round table and be able to discuss what's going on and be able to try to support each other with this weight loss. Well, the doctor thought this was a really great idea and had encouraged Esther to go ahead and start that up. So in 1948, it actually started around Esther's kitchen table, where her and 3 other friends came together and they had the very first TOPS Club meeting ever in history. This was a group that is there to be able to help support each other. As I said, not with any certain diet plan, but to be able to take the information provided by their individual doctors, to be able to share that amongst the group, and to be able to lose the weight that they want to lose. This same format is still in function even today in 2017. There are thousands of different TOPS groups around the country and in Canada. You don't hear about them because they don't really advertise at all. It's a lot of word of mouth because this is supposed to be about friends getting together to be able to support each other. So this is my way of being able to share the TOPS program because that's what's working for me. That's what's working great for my wife, being able to have that support network that we were looking for. If you can't find a particular group that you're comfortable with, and there's quite a few of them just here in Rhode Island alone, and every group has got a different flavor to it, if it will, because there's different people there with different needs and wants that are there. There are some TOPS groups that are in the senior citizens' homes, and our group is actually held in a church right across the street from me, a Catholic church over there. St. Rita's down in Oakland Beach. I invite anybody that wants to come and join us, or at least come out and visit and see what it's about. I encourage you to come out and check that out. Or if you're not in the Rhode Island area, and that is on Wednesday nights, starting about 6:30 for weigh-in and 6:45 for the actual meeting. But if you're not near Rhode Island, by all means, look up the TOPS groups that are in your local area and try one out. And just because you go to one group and it doesn't seem to be the right fit, don't give up on that. Go try a different group. There's really a lot of different flavors and stuff. My group, they seem to be a lot of fun-loving people that are very supportive of each other. and I have really grown to consider every one of them very dear friends to me and my wife right now. So Nicole is the leader of our group and stuff. She's a great person, and I really appreciate God putting her and Tops in my life. But if you can't find the right group for you, you can still follow the same formula that Esther did back in 1948 by having you, 3 other friends, and then you can apply to make your own chapter. And you can go right on the Tops website, and there's information right in there to be able to set up and start your own group. There's Joyce, who's actually in charge of all of Rhode Island. If you're from this area, Joyce, excuse me, Joan. Sorry, Joan. So it's Joan that actually, my wife Joan's another good name here, just kind of corrected me on that. It's not Joyce, it's Joan. But she's from the Rhode Island, she's the head of the Rhode Island chapters, and she can help you start a group if you can't find one that you fit into. Anyway, so just a few other stats here. New Tops chapters or groups are actually started with 1 leader and 3 members that want to be able to support each other in their efforts for better health and for wellness, as I had said. By the end of 1951, there was a Tops group in every single state with about 6,000 members total, and that started from those 4 people, Esther and her 3 friends. And they grew that up from 48 to 51 up to 6,000. Today, in 2017, and this is from the Tops website, there are actually a total membership to Tops right now of 125,000 men, women, and children in thousands of chapters that are around the United States and throughout Canada. Tops is a totally non-profit, non-commercialized organization with membership. To be a member of it does cost $32 annually. That's being used for is to help with further science and studies of weight loss and weight management, and just to be able to good health and weight in general. And yeah, you get a magazine. There's a lot of different support. If you go on the website, there's books that you can get about people who actually have lost all the weight, and now they go into what they call the CLOPS group, keeping off pounds sensibly. And they've actually published a book and their stories about where they were and where they came and what Tops had done to be able to try to help them out. Anyway, so it's $32 a year for that. Some chapters will actually charge a small operation cost, but this is usually not more than, like, say, $5 a month. I think our chapter, it's like $2 a week, plus if you gain any weight, it's like 10 cents a pound or something like that. That money helps us with just general operating costs and stuff like that. We also help support a local food bank with that. That's actually at St. Rita's. So there's some good things that go with that. There's various meetings throughout the year and stuff like that, that a lot of that money will go and help the individual members and stuff with. In 1953, Esther Menace actually turned down a $1 million offer to sell Tops to a corporation. Like, I actually can think of a few names, but I won't mention their names. But some of these bigger names that are out there with diets and stuff like that, I'm sure some of you have actually tried them. I know I've tried them myself. But Esther actually turned that down because she said she never wanted Tops to be about money over their members. So it's about the membership and about the support and about friends coming together to be able to help each other lose some weight. As I said, go out and explore some of the different Tops. Doesn't cost anything to go out and visit and see what we're about. Whether you're visiting with our group, whether you're visiting with another group, go out and check out to see what they're about. Different groups have different flavors because there's different members. So you're going to find a group that you fit right into. And as I said, if you can't find the right fit, you can always start your own group. One leader, 3 members, and you can start right off. And that's exactly how Esther did it back in 1948. What do we do at the Tops groups? There's actually a weekly meeting, and there's weekly private weigh-ins. Our group, like I said, on Wednesday nights, we meet right over at St. Rita's Church down in the basement, over in the Oakland Beach area, which is right across the street from me, so I absolutely love it. I actually get a little bit of a walk-in to go down the block to get to there. We start about 6:30. Usually Nicole's there between 6 and 6:15ish, but usually by 6:30 we're definitely got the doors open. People are going in. We have private weigh-in every week, so that we're weighing ourselves exactly on the same scale every week. It's good. You can use your own scale, and I've heard people complain, oh, this scale must be off and everything else. But if you use the same scale every single week and you document all that, you know, if you've lost pounds, you're going to lose pounds. And it's going to show it because you're using that same scale. Even if that scale is off a little bit, you're going to be off every same amount every week. So like I said, I kept going with what everybody else was saying. Oh, these scales must be off the last 3 weeks when I was staying steady. But I'm happy to see what's going to happen on Wednesday night. I'm really hoping, right, my scale upstairs showed that I dropped another 10 pounds since last Wednesday, which I'm really psyched about. Anyway, so there's the weekly meetings, private weigh-ins. It's just you and the weigh-in person that's in the room, so she can document what you've got. So you don't have to be embarrassed or anything like that. But then we come together for the meeting, which starts at 6:45. We talk about different things that's going on, what our individual goals are, what our doctors have been telling us, how we've been doing during the week. You know, you really get to know each other because we talk about things that really mean something to us. My weight loss and me trying to, you know, lose this weight for this surgery I've got coming up in June and July, and trying to get down to 200 pounds and to be able to try to maintain that. That's really important to me. We talk about those things, and we talk about what our doctors are sharing with us. We got everybody from different aspects coming together to be able to share. So, and it really helps, you know, when we can talk about what's working, what's not working. We want to talk about our successes and our personal challenges with each other. And you talk as you feel comfortable to be able to share within that group. As you get to know these members, it's surprising what people actually share in there, that I would not be comfortable doing that in front of a camera like this or in front of some strangers. But I feel like there's a connection that we have there, and we're able to share these individual issues. And once you're in those groups too, and you also have little cliques that'll form. Like I know we have a very dear friend that'll come to our house, and we'll talk about certain things, you know, that maybe we wouldn't even talk about in the whole group. But those bonds are being built right now, and we've only been doing this since, what, October, November, I think, that we joined. And I couldn't picture myself not doing, you know, we always talk about how you're going to set priorities to go to your nutritionist or go into your doctor, or set those priorities to be able to set up your diet menus and stuff of that nature. My priority, and it's not really a priority, it's my want, to be able to get with my friends on Wednesday night, and to be able to have some fun. We've got Tammy. Tammy, we absolutely love you down there in the group. Tammy is our absolute house clown. The meetings are not the same when Tammy is sick and not at the meetings. So she missed us last week. She wasn't feeling good, so I really hope you start feeling better, Tammy, because sometimes we really need you in those groups. We need every one of our members to come down to those groups. Anyway, so there's weekly meetings that we have. Then TOPS will provide information on various health and wellness subjects that are published from various professionals in the field with group leaders, as they in turn will then share their information with us in an interactive meeting and stuff. Recently, I just had a health and wellness coach, my friend Rachel from work. She actually came down and be able to share with us some fantastic information. I've been doing a study on TOPS and about weight loss, different programs and stuff. TOPS doesn't promote any one diet. However, they do talk about the diabetes food exchange program, and also the My Plate program that actually replaced the food pyramid that when I was going through school back in the 70s and stuff, that's what the big one was, is that food pyramid. Talking about, the bottom of the pyramid, you have more of these kind of foods and very little of these kind of foods at the very top. They basically changed that around into a placemat setting of what a typical 9-inch plate should look like. For me, that's really important because it's about eating only one plate full of food and making sure that the right amount of foods are on that plate. So that's something that TOPS promotes, and that's through the the Food and Drug Administration.
FDA?
The FDA, thank you. That's through the FDA here in the United States. Canada has their own government-run programs that the top chapters in those countries I actually support, but I'll talk about what's here. I am going to be talking about this in some meetings. I'm probably going to need 1 or 2 meetings actually be able to discuss all this information. So hopefully this is information that people will enjoy and take in. So I actually invite you guys to be able to come and join our TOPS groups, be a part of the support and the encouragement that we give each other. I want to try to get a few other people maybe on this video to be able to share what they think and what their experience with TOPS is, and you can kind of meet some of the members of our TOPS group. I said when I started this all that I was going to talk about the things that really work for us, the things that don't work for us. The last 3 weeks I didn't really gain anything, but it was still kind of a hit to my heart because I really wanted to be, I kind of plotted everything out. I'm all about details. I love details and information. You can overfeed me on details and let me sift through what I want and be able to take that in. The more information you give me, the better. Some people don't like all of that, but that's who I am. Like I said, what works for you may not necessarily work for me. What works for me may not necessarily work for you. But that support network of having other people to share what works for them and what don't work for them is so crucial to any type of a weight loss program, whether you're going to the points program there or you go to something else. It's really important to have that network of like-minded people being able to work with each other, to be able to support each other, both in the good times and celebrating your weight loss and telling you encouragement words that, it's okay. Look, I could have gained a whole bunch of weight. They encouraged me because I stayed steady. They were like, oh, that's fantastic. You didn't gain any weight. To me, it was still a negative thing because my plot where I had set up said that I should be about 15 or 20 pounds less than what I'm actually at today. But you know what? It's okay. I'm going to start over. I'm going to reset my graph. I'll still show that little plateau, and I'm going to start dropping right back down again. But it's the support in the network that I have amongst these friends in the TOPS program. You're not going to see big old commercials and movie stars and everything else talking about TOPS because a lot of that is about the money and be able to, God forbid I actually had to quit one of these programs that with points and all that because I just couldn't afford it. TOPS wants to make sure that you are more important than the financial gains. It's a non-profit organization. It's just a bunch of friends coming together to be able to say, you can do this. You've got this.